Right, moving on. The UK may not be the first place that you'd look for a good wine, but with more than 150 vineyards in England alone, you shouldn't be surprised to hear that we are actually producing some of the finest in the world. Here with us is the Loft's very own wine expert, Christina Pickard, to tell us a little bit more.
Thanks for joining us. As Ashley just said, people don't expect UK to produce wine, so because we haven't got the climate for it. Well, we didn't think so. So can you tell us a bit about
but particularly in the last 20 years, there's about 400 different vineyards and about over 150 different wineries. So obviously, you can't grow vineyards everywhere and grow vines everywhere in England, but in the southern half of the country, particularly south-facing hills, getting the most sun as possible. Yeah, they do all right. It's tricky. It's not an easy place.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's because some English wines have got very good reviews as well. So we want to get right on and try some. Franky's going to try this one first, which is the Taylor Brut Sparkling. It's from a vineyard in Hastings, I think, and was the only English medal winner at the 2009 International Wine Challenge. So, Christine, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this is made in the traditional method, so the same method that you make champagne in. Very time-consuming, which is why this style sparkling wine is never cheap. But Franky told me earlier she drinks 3-pound Pinot Grigio. Yep. So I'm hoping to
absolutely
open
delicious.
her mind a little. Is this a little better than the 3-pound Pinot Grigio?
Oh, yeah, but okay.
So I think
it's a lot better.
What do you think? I mean, I think it's very sort of watermelon.
It's very easy to drink as well.
Isn't it? They get a lot of, there's this clay soil down there. You get a lot of minerals in there and a lot of fruit. They get loads of nice sea breezes coming off as well, because they're not far from Hastings. They're not far from the sea.
That is
okay, super. Let's move on to our next one.
Okay, moving on to a wine now called Camel Valley. Can you tell us a little bit about this particular wine
this is a still wine. I mean, most people who do know that the UK makes wines, that England makes wines, know sparkling. But they actually make some great stills as well. And this is a grape variety called Bacchus, which is I think the third most grape variety, commonly found grape variety in this country. Very fruity. This is what we call an aromatic grape variety. It just bounces out of the glass.
It's really tasty, actually.
Isn't it? It's loads of tropical fruits. You'd have it with either seafood or something spicy to cut through the spice, a curry or some Mexican food.
Does it go down nicely?
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now the main one that we really want to talk about there is this one here in the middle. Now, this is the Ridgeview wine. It's a sparkling one, the Grosvenor 2007 from Sussex. Now, one review from Virgin Wines has said this is completely brilliant. Others, though, Christina, say it needs another year or two to mature. Now, its predecessor, the 2006 vintage, won this year's Decanter International Trophy for Sparkling Wine. Does that mean it was literally the best sparkling wine in the world?
Yeah, of this vintage. Yeah, of this vintage.
So
pretty amazing.
Champagne and everything.
And I think if you tried it blind, I don't think you'd be able to tell if it was a champagne or not.
Okay, well, let's have a go then.
Let's have a go.
It's pretty impressive from England as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit more about the vineyard as well, the Ridgeview vineyard. Is it one of the better ones in the UK?
It is. I think, in my opinion anyway, Nye Timber, Ridgeview, those are the two top ones. They're making really excellent wines that are really imitating champagne. The soil, the climate in this country, particularly in Sussex, is actually quite similar to champagne. A bit cooler, so you get a bit higher acidity, but it's actually really similar. You've got this chalky limestone soil, just like in champagne.
It's pretty good. What sort of price are we talking about for this one here?
It varies anywhere from about 18 to 23 pounds. So
that's not bad, is it, at all?
Yeah.
Now, just before we say goodbye, Christina, I want to move on because we want to continue the potato theme, and we're going to do that with this, which is a bottle of vodka. Chase Vodka is the first British potato vodka in the world. Now, it just so happens that it's my favourite vodka as well, which is very lucky, and it's also just won the Best Vodka in the World Award 2010 in San Francisco. So, why don't you have a taste of it as well? We're both going to have a little sniff.
I am more a wine person, but I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
It is amazing how well we're doing with wines, and obviously vodka, the best in the world.
Yeah, you wait till we go off air, we'll be doing a lot better. Now, this is really buttery, I think. It's a really lovely... Do you think you could drink this on its own?
Definitely. I mean, vodka is usually so neutral. It's the most neutral spirit, which is why it's always blended with it's always mixed with other things. But yeah, this actually has a lot of character to it.
Yeah, it really does. Now, I think we are about out of time, so hang on.
Whew. I'm used to slurping and swirling in my mouth, and I can't do that.
Don't swirl that, definitely not.
Down the hatch, I say.
It is so smooth, though.
Now then, we wanted to find out whether Loft viewers would be able to recognise a fine English Chardonnay if they were comparing it to a French one. So, here's how you got on.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no.
On the left table, we have a 2009 Chardonnay from the Val de la Loire in France. On the right, we have a Flint Valley wine produced in Denby's Vineyard, Surrey. How will the local wine fare up against the French?
I think it's quite bitter. It's not very nice. Now the aftertaste. No, it's still that pepper.
That's nice.
It's like vinegar, yeah. That's nicer because that's sweet.
This is much softer. I would say the right one is the French.
I think that one's the French one.
If I had a choice, I'd drink that one.
I prefer that one. It's a lot smoother.
Yeah, it's fruitier, it's softer.
English wine, it would seem, has still a bit of catching up to do.
Was that the kind of reaction you'd expect from people when they think about English wine?
Yeah, I mean, I think English wine has a long way to go. There's still a lot of bad stuff out there, but there's a lot of great stuff as well. And I really think you should, you Brits, should support your country in wine. Buy more English wine.
We will. Thank you very much indeed, Christina.
Thank you.
No problem.